Hare Krishna. So today we will resume from our previous session of 16 sloka of first canto, first chapter, questions by sages. So before that, I'm so sorry for not being consistent and reading Srimad Bhagavatam to Prabhupada himself, that I have not been consistent, and this is not good as a devotee, and I would like to apologize and make sure that this won't happen again. So so I would say we can start. I'm so sorry, I have a cold running right now. So I'll just start with pranam mantras. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadandikam Vandeham Shri Guroh Shri Yutapadakamalam Shri Guruna Vaishnavam Cha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagan Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhvaitam Savadutam Parijan Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padana Sagan Raghuna Sagan Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitam Cha नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तो स्वामी इति नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधो जगतपते गोपेश गोपिका कांत राधाकांत नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी श्री राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। So we'll repeat again the 16th shloka, which is को वा भगवतस्तस्य पुण्य श्लोकेद्य कर्मणः शुद्धिकर्मो न शून्यस्य कलिमलापहम्। So sorry, I guess I cut off in between. Right. So kah, who, va, rather, bhagavatah, of the Lord, tasya, his, punya, sorry, virtuous, shlokadya, worshipable by prayers, karmanaha, deeds, shuddhikama, desiring deliverance from all the sins, na, not, shunyat, does here, yashah, glories, kali, on the age of the coral, malapaham, the agent for sanctification. Translation: who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of the coral, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord. So I think here again we are glorifying Krishna and Srimad Bhagavatam, as Srimad Bhagavatam is Krishna himself. So sages of Naimisaranya are asking Sūta Goswami that, hey, O Muni, please explain us and tell us ki. So this is a question, yet it is an answer, right? Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of coral? In a meanwhile, even if we don't admit that we are not desiring deliverance from the Kali, our soul does require or does need or desire the deliverance from the Kali Yuga, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord. This is also again a way of answering this question himself, that who else, who is that jiva that who doesn't want to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord himself. So the purport by His Evangelist Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The age of Kali is the most condemned age due to its quarrelsome features. Kali Yuga is so saturated with vicious habits that there is a great fight at the slightest misunderstanding. Sorry. Those who are engaged in the pure devotional service of the Lord, who are without any desire for self aggrandizement, and who are freed from the effects of the fruitive actions and dry philosophical speculation, are capable of getting out of the estrangements of this complicated age. The leaders of the people are very much anxious to live in peace and friendship, but they have no information of the simple method of hearing the glories of the Lord. On the contrary, such leaders are opposed to the propagation of glories of the Lord. In other words, the foolish leaders want to completely deny the existence of the Lord. In the name of secular state, such leaders are enacting various plans every year, but by the insurmountable intricacies of the material nature of the Lord, all these plans for progress are being constantly frustrated. They have no eyes to see that their attempts at peace and friendship are failing. But there is a hint to get over the hurdle. If we want actual peace, we must open the road to understanding the Supreme Lord Krishna and glorify Him for His virtuous activities as they are depicted in these pages of the Srimad Bhagavatam. So, the again purport is again one of the like what do you call discrete answer of the shloka itself, that in this condemned age of Kali Yuga, it is so saturated of vicious habits that there is a great fight at the slightest misunderstanding. Even if you go by walk, or you see people who are riding bikes, scooties and stuff, even if they bound to clash in somebody, they are not that forgivable, and they just blame each other and fight at even slightest misunderstanding. So Prabhupada is trying to explain that the thing that in this age nobody is trying to understand that you know no one is trying to understand the Supreme Lord Krishna and glorify Him for His virtuous activities as they are depicted in these pages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Everyone is doing everything, trying to mesmerize people by their fruity actions, such as buying hotels, buying some $1 million or $1 trillion car or something, or some real estate or something. It's just that they are not realizing that if they die, whatever they have managed to achieve in this human life, they won't get it with themselves after they die. They will only be on a deathbed, and they cannot ask for help from the like whatever they have earned in this life, which is material basically. If the spiritual earning is there, then there is nothing that you are like going to leave in this world. You are taking your all spiritual fruitive actions or transcendental activities, or the seva that you do for Krishna and his devotees, you will take it with you even you die. So nobody is understanding that what is our work that has to be done, and in order to do that, what path and what things that I must do is not basically realized by everyone, like the material souls who are not realizing the fact that they have to worship Krishna in a way or another, and chant about Krishna, think about Krishna, write about Krishna, talk about Krishna, you know sleep for Krishna, wake up for Krishna, bath for like taking the or circumambulating the temple of Krishna, circumambulating Tulsi Maharani, taking blessings from Prabhupada and Gurudev and other devotees, senior devotees, junior devotees, whatever devotees are devotees. So they are not realizing this fact, and they are just wasting their time. They are just basically falling into another propagandas of the world. So they should not do it. That's what the what Prabhupada wanted to explain in this purport, I guess. So I'll just move to next shloka. Tasya karmane udarani parigitani suri bruhi naham Shadda dhananam leelaya dadata kala. Tasya, his, karmani, transcendental acts, udarani, magnanimous, parigitani, broadcast, suribhi, by the great souls, bruhi, please speak, naha, unto us, shadadhanam, ready to receive with respect, leelaya, pastime, dadataha, advantage, kalaha, incarnations. Translation by Prabhupada, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious, and great land sages like Nārada sing of them. Please therefore speak to us, who are eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations. Again, this is like asked by, or basically, again, this is the glory of Krishna in a way that his transcendental are magnificent and gracious. In great land sages like Nārada sing of them. This is again glory of our Guru in a way that whose transcendental activities are magnificent, Krishna's, and great learned sages like Nārada sing of them. This is again glory of Narad Muni in this translation. Please therefore speak to us, who are eager to hear about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations. So sages asked to Sūta Goswami, please explain to us. Then purport by Prabhupada. This is the glory of Narad Muni in a way that we glory our Guru Prabhupada and other gurus in our Vedic and Gaudiya Sampradaya lineage. So we'll move to the purport by Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. The personality of Godhead is never inactive as some less intelligent person suggests. His works are magnificent and magnanimous. His creations, both material and spiritual, are all wonderful and contain all variegatedness. They are described nicely by such liberated souls as Srila Nārada Muni, Vyasdev, Valmiki Muni, Devala, Asita, Madhava, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramanujacharya, Vishnu Swami, Nimbarkacharya, Sridhar Swami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Baldev Vidyabhushan, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Pad ki jai, and many other learned and self-realized souls. These creations, both material and spiritual, are full of opulence, beauty and knowledge. But the spiritual realm is more magnificent due to its being full of knowledge, bliss and eternity. The material creations are manifested for some time as perverted shadows of the spiritual kingdom and can be likened to cinema. They attract people of less intelligent caliber who are attracted by false things. Such foolish men have no information of the reality and they take it for granted and that the false material manifestation is the all in all. But more intelligent men, guided by sages like Vyasdeva and Narad Muni, know that the internal kingdom of God is more delightful, larger, and eternally full of bliss and knowledge. Those who are not conversant and the activities of the Lord and his in transcendental realm are sometimes favored by the Lord in his adventures as incarnations where he displays the eternal bliss of his association of the transcendental realm. By such activities, he attracts the conditioned souls of the material world. Some of these conditioned souls are engaged in the false enjoyment of material senses and others in simply negating their real life in the spiritual world. These less intelligent persons are known as karmis or fruitive workers and jnanis or dry mental speculators. But above these two classes of men is the transcendentalist known as sattvata, or the devotee who is busy neither with rampant material activity nor with material speculation. He is engaged in the positive service of the Lord, and thereby he derives the highest spiritual benefit known as the karmis and jnanis. As the supreme controller of both the material and spiritual worlds, the Lord has different incarnations of unlimited categories. Incarnations like Brahma, Rudra, Manu, Prithu, and Vyasa are his material qualitative incarnations, but his incarnations like Rama, Chandra, Nrsimhadev, Varahadev, and Vamanadev are his transcendental incarnations. Lord Sri Krishna is the fountainhead of all incarnation, and he is therefore the cause of all causes. Very beautiful purport by Prabhupada. This is glory to Lord, that his creations, both material and spiritual, are wonderful and contain all variegatedness. It means that they are all selfish, or maybe they are variegatedness probably means that they are free to do to any karma that they want in their life. Not selfish. Selfish is a wrong word. Krishna doesn't create anyone selfish from the birth. They become, in the like next moment of in their life. Sorry. They are described nicely by such liberated souls as Nārada Muni and Vyasdev, Valmiki Muni, Devala Muni, Asita Muni, Madhavacharya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Ramanujacharya, Vishnu Swami Nimbarkacharya, Sridhar Swami, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, and Baldev Vidyabhushan, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Siddhanta Goswami Saraswati, Swami Prabhupada. This is the lineage of our Acharya Gana. This is again glory to Krishna, explaining the two types of incarnations, or many types of incarnation, in which two types of incarnation is being explained over here. That he many times take rupa of as a devotee, and then he comes as a transcendental incarnation, such as Ramachandra, Nrsimhadev, Varahadev, and Vamanadev. Whereas Lord Krishna is the fountain of all incarnations, and he is therefore the cause of all causes. Now we'll move to the next shloka. अथ क्यायि हरे धीमन अवतार कथा शुभ लीला विदः तथा स्वैरम लीला विदत स्वैरमी ईश्वरस्यात्मा मायया अथा. Therefore, Akyahi describe Hare of the Lord, Dhiman, O sagacious one, Avatara, incarnations, Kataha, narratives, Shubha, auspicious, Leela, adventurous, Vidhataha, performed, Swaram, pastimes, Ishwarasya, of the Supreme Controller, Atma, personal, Maya, energies. O wise Sūta Goswami, please narrate to us the transcendental pastimes of Supreme Godhead's multi-incarnations. Such auspicious adventures and pastimes of the Lord, the Supreme Controller, are performed by his eternal powers. Purport by Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. For the creation, maintenance and destructions of the material world, the Supreme Lord Personality of Godhead himself appears in many thousands of forms of incarnations, and the specific adventures found in those transcendental activities forms are all auspicious. Both those who are present during such activities and those who hear the transcendental narrations of such activities are benefited. Move to the next one. Vayam tu na vitrapyama uttama shloka vikrame. Yachudam vadam rasa jnanam swadu swadu pade pade. This is the greatest shlok. We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationship with him relish hearing of his pastimes at every moment. I was so eager to read the translation that I forgot to read the synonyms. Vayam, we, tu, but, na, not, vitrapyamaha, shall be at rest. Uttama Shloke, the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by transcendental prayers. Vikrame, adventurous. Yata, which Shrunavatam, by continuous hearing. Rasa, humor. No, rasa, yes, it's rasa, humor. Jnanam, those who are conversant with. Swadu, relishing. Swadu, palatable. Pade pade, at every step. Again, read the translation. We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by the hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationship with him relish hearing of his pastimes at every moment. Purport by Swami Śrī Kṛṣṇa ki jai. There is a great difference between mundane stories, fiction, or history and the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. The histories of the whole universe contain references to the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas are histories of bygone ages recorded in connection with the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord, and therefore remain fresh even after repeated readings. Sorry. I'll again read the sentence. The Ramayana, the Mahabharata, and the Puranas are histories of bygone ages recorded in connection with the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord, and therefore remain fresh even after repeated readings. For example, anyone may read Bhagavad Gita or the Srimad Bhagavatam repeatedly throughout his whole life and yet find in them new light of information. This is so true. Mundane news is static, whereas transcendental news is dynamic. In as much as the spirit is dynamic and matter is static. Those who have developed a taste for understanding the transcendental subject matter are never tired of hearing such narrations. One is quickly satiated by mundane activities, but no one is satiated by transcendental or devotional activities. Uttama Shloka indicates that literature which is not meant for nations. Mundane and literature is in the mode of darkness or ignorance, whereas transcendental literature is quite different. Transcendental literature is above the mode of darkness, and its light becomes more luminous with progressive reading and the realization of the transcendental subject matter. The so-called liberated persons are never satisfied by the repetition of the words Aham Brahmasmi. Such artificial realization of Brahman becomes hackneyed, and so to relish real pleasure, they turn to the narration of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Sorry, those who are not so fortunate turn to altruism and worldly philanthropy. This means the Mayavad philosophy is mundane, whereas the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental. Here, the main line is this last line. This means the Mayavad philosophy is mundane, whereas the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental. This is the summary of whole purport that Prabhupada explained that the stories of the whole universe contain reference to the past. I'm sorry, not here. There's a great difference between mundane stories, fictions, or history, and the transcendental pastimes of the Lord. See, what Prabhupada wanted to explain here, that the stories or histories that belong to this world is very much static, but whereas if we compare the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord, the stories about pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord, which is basically stated in Ramayana, Mahabharata, and the Puranas, are history of the bygone ages, which is not even, you can even not even basically count it. So let's say when Ramchandra appeared, since Ramanavami is coming, I may only remember Ramchandra at this point, where then it was in Treta Yuga that Ramachandra appeared, but still to the date, if people hear the pastimes of the Lord, that when Ramchandra was being born, it was the greatest, you know, like historical, or what we call the most joyous moment for the people of Ayodhya, or basically everyone in the world itself. Sorry. So much so that even if we hear, thousands and thousands of the time, still we will find some new enlightenment and new happiness from the scriptures of which explains the pastimes of the incarnations of the Lord. Here again, Prabhupada has explained that even if you read Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam repeatedly throughout the whole life, yet you will find new light of information. Mundane news is static, whereas transcendental news is dynamic. This is such a great line, which I loved. Trust me. And as much as the spirit is dynamic and matter is static. Exactly. Throughout the whole life, we eat something, it digests and it just excrete it. Our hand has the blood. If it gets cut, the blood comes out. But that is not the case with spirit. Spirit changes according to your actions in your life. This is what Prabhupada want to explain in here, that if you will chant the whole life Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, or any mantras or anything which you are devoting your time to Krishna or the other demigods, you will see your soul or spirit shaping in a way that you will feel more empowered, more lightened, and will be just feeling just such great feeling and everything. But the matter which is your body is just static, which won't be changing throughout the life. It will just get dull and dull and dull and dull until the moment you die. So this is what this thing is, that the spirit is dynamic but matter is static. Those who have developed a taste for understanding the transcendental subject matter of are never tired of hearing such narrations. Such as Prabhupada and other devotees who have like grew a desire for learning more about Krishna. So I'll just move to that the whole summary of this shloka is that Mayavad philosophy is mundane, whereas the philosophy of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is transcendental, which is basically every scriptures such as Ramayana and Mahabharata. This is what sages of Naimisarana asked, that this is again a way of glorifying the scriptures, that we never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead. Why? Because they are ever fresh, ever green, ever what do we call fruitful for our spiritual journey, that they will just enlighten us and bring us much more closer to Krishna. That is why the sages of Naimisaranya are telling to Sūta Goswami that we never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers. Yeah, such a great shloka. Kritavan kila karmani sah ramen keshava atimrityani bhagavana gudha kapat manusha. Kritavan, done by, kila, what, karmani, acts, sah, along with, ramena, Balarāma, Keshavaha, Śrī Kṛṣṇa, atimartyani, superhuman, Bhagavan, the personality of Godhead, Gudaha, masked as, Kapata, apparently, Manushaha, human being. Translation by His Divine Grace Swami Shiva Prabhupada ki jai. Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the personality of Godhead, along with Balarāma, played like a human being, and so masked he performed many superhuman acts. Purport. The doctrines of anthropomorphism and zoomorphism are never applicable to Krishna, Sri Krishna, or the personality of Godhead. The theory that a man becomes God by dint of penance and austerities is very much rampant nowadays, especially in India. Since Lord Ramchandra and Lord Sri Krishna Chandra and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were detected by the sages and saints to be the personality of Godhead, as indicated in revealed scriptures, many unscrupulous men have created their own incarnations. Hare Krishna. This process of concocting an incarnation of God has become an ordinary business, especially in Bengal. Any popular personality with a few traits of mystic powers will display some feat of jugglery and easily become an incarnation of Godhead by popular vote. Lord Sri Krishna was not that type of incarnation. He was actually the personality of Godhead from the very beginning of his appearance. He appeared before his so called mother as four-armed Vishnu, and at the request of the mother, he became like a human child at once left her for the another devotee at Gokula, where he was accepted as the son of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Maharani, Matarani. Similarly, Sri Baladev, the counterpart of Lord Krishna, was also considered a human child born of another wife of Sri Vasudeva. In Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that his birth and the deeds are transcendental, and that anyone who is so fortunate as to know that the transcendental nature of his birth and deeds will at once become liberated and eligible to return to the kingdom of the God. So, knowledge of the transcendental nature of the birth and deeds of Lord Krishna is sufficient for liberation. In the Bhagavatam, the transcendental nature of Lord is described in 9 cantos. In the 10th canto, his specific pastimes are taken up. All this becomes known as one's reading of this literature progress. Says, I'll read it again. All this becomes known as once the reading of the literature progresses. It is important to note here, however, that the Lord exhibited his divinity even from the lap of his mother, that his deeds are all superhuman. He lifted Govardhana hill at the age of 7, and that all these acts definitely prove him to be actually the supreme personality of Godhead. Yet due to his mystic covering, he was always accepted as an ordinary human child by his so-called father and mother and other relatives. Whenever some Herculean task was performed by him, the father and mother took it otherwise, and they remained satisfied with unflinching parental love for their son. As such, the sages of Nārada described him as apparently resembling a human being, but actually he is the supreme almighty personality of Godhead. Here, some rich bhav has been came, where Prabhupada says that due to his mystic covering, there was no covering Hare Krishna. It was the prem of Brajvasigan that Krishna never has been seen as a god, or he has been seen a god, but still they are like, yeah, even if he's a god, he's still a Krishna for us. He will still come every morning, take us for the Gocharan, like with his 9,99,999 cows, with all the sakhas, gop sakhas, and will again, playfully like play with the gopis and the other gopi of Vraj by stealing some navneet, which is akhan or buttermilk. I guess it's called buttermilk. And yeah, so this is such a great explanation of Krishna, that Krishna was a god, but in Vrindavan he was just a gopa who just wakes up, steals navneet or buttermilk, takes his cows, go for Gaucharan, eats with the Gopsakhas, come back, then eat dinner, then again go for the Rasa Leela. That is another what do we call Bhava, which is Madhurya Rasya, Madhurya Ras, which is very hard, and for Yashoda Maharani it was all more like pain for Krishna going out from Vrindavana. that she was so mesmerized the fact that Krishna is the God, but she never accepted it as, because she has so much love, so much parental love for Krishna, that even after Krishna shows Yashodarani the whole earth, the whole universe, still Yashodarani was like, no, 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 this is a illusion casted by Indradev. But she again thought, what does Indradev want from me, to that he has been casted a illusion on me. I do not own such powers. I do not own something. But then she again, the so much parental love that she has for Krishna, that she forgets that Krishna just showed her the whole universe. So this is, and again other leelas like Putana Daman Leela, and Shakatasur, Bakasur, Akhasur, and Dhenukasur, Keshi. All the suras were killed by Krishna in front of all the Vrajavasigan, but still, and even after lifting the Govardhan, still they were like, no, 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 how can Krishna do it? It's just because Mother Yashoda and Nanda Maharaj worship Shaligram Shila, that Vishnu himself came into Krishna and saved us, is because of Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Rani that Krishna is able to do these things at the moments that we need Bhagwan Vishnu. But they were like, no, 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 our Krishna cannot be Bhagwan. How can be Bhagwan? He sleeps, he eats, he does everything. That is the prem of Vrajavasi that is explained in this purport, which is hidden. If you see, it is very much hidden over here. And that's the most sweetest part of Srimad Bhagavatam, that the tattvas which are most important are hidden, and you have to just read and sweet the basically take the nectar of Bhagavatam and Krishna and the prem of Vrajavasi and Krishna Chandra to understand the facts. So we'll just move to the next text. Kalimagata Gatam Agnanya Agnaya Kshetre Asmin Vaishnavayam Asina Driga Satrena Katyam Kathayam Sakshana Hare. Synonyms: Kalim, the age of Kali; Agatam, having arrived; Agnyaya, knowing this; Kshetre, in this tract of land; Asmin, in this; Vaishnava, especially meant for devotee of the Lord; Vayam, we; Asina, Asina, seated; Dirgha, prolonged; Satrena, for performance of sacrifices; Kathayam, in the words of Sakshana, with time at our disposal; Hare, the personality of Godhead. Translation by Prabhupada. Knowing well that the age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in this holy place to hear the great length of transcendental message of Godhead, and in this way perform sacrifice. But the age of Kali is not at all suitable for self-realization, as was Satya Yuga, the golden age, or Treta or Dwapara Yugas, the silver and the copper ages. For self-realization, the people in the Satyuga, living a lifetime of 100,000 years, were able to perform prolonged meditation. In Treta Yuga, when the duration of life was 10,000 years, self-realization was attained by performance of great sacrifice. In the Dwapar Yuga, when the duration of life was 1,000 years, self-realization was attained by worship of the Lord. But in the Kali Yuga, the maximum duration of life being 100 years only, and that combined with various difficulties, the recommended process of self-realization is that of the hearing and chanting of the holy name, fame, and pastimes of the Lord. The sages of Naimisarana began this process in a place meant specifically for the devotees of the Lord. They prepared themselves to hear the pastimes of the Lord over a period of 1,000 years. By the example of these sages, one should learn that the regular hearing and recitation of the Bhagavatam is the only way for self realization. Other attempts are simply a waste of time, for they do not give any tangible results. Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached this system of Bhagavad Dharma, and he recommended that all those who are born in India should take the responsibility of broadcasting the messages of Krishna. Lord Sri Krishna, primarily the message of the Bhagavad Gita. And when one is well established in the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, he can take up the study of the Srimad Bhagavatam for further enlightenment in self-realization. Hare Krishna, I'll just come in a second. So sorry for the interruption. I'll just I now have a thing to do. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Jai. So, in this purport, Prabhupada explained that what was the mode of achieving Krishna in all the yugas that has been already passed. So this is explained that is not at all suitable for self-realization as was Satyuga. Self-realization is not possible in Kali Yuga, is what Prabhupada has written over here, which is very true. You cannot realize the fact that you are the part and parcel of Krishna, and you just basically do the tapasya and find out that you can be a yogi, you can become a the one who will practice all the Vedas and Puranas. This is very much impossible because the life has been shortened too much for us to self-realize all the fact that who are we, which is the golden age. The Satyuga was the golden age, or Treta or Dwapara yugas, and the silver and copper ages. Sorry. For self-realization, the people in Satyuga, living a lifetime of 100,000 years, were able to perform prolonged meditation. See, tapasya. For self-realization. In Treta Yuga, when the duration of life was 10,000 years, self-realization was attained by performance of great sacrifice. So, for self-realization in this yuga was the sacrifice, or basically ahutis in the Havana Kunda is what I know, or in Agni you do the sacrifices basically. And in Treta Yuga, as of course I already told you. And in Dwapar Yuga, when the duration of life was 1,000 years, self-realization was attained by worship of the Lord. Worship basically means take care of Krishna, like feeding him and giving the prasada, taking the bhoga, bathing, Mahabhishek, Abhishek, and changing the clothes of Krishna and all the things. So, but in because it was being done because they had 100 like 1,000 years for to them live in the Upper Yuga, but it again reduced in Kali Yuga because it is the most quarrelsome age for people to live in, because they themselves have like greed, ego, envy in them. That's why the life has been shortened so much short for us to do all these things which were being done in Satyuga, Dwapar and Treta Dwapar. We cannot do meditation for 100 years to realize who are we, and same for sacrificing and worship of the Lord. Worship of the Lord is possible, but the quality of worshipping cannot be basically given. If I am talking about myself, I basically am a bad one. Just say that. And so sages of Naimisarana has basically said that ki this yoga is only for the recommended process of self-realization in that hearing of chanting and of the holy name, fame and pastimes of the Lord. Hearing and chanting the holy name basically means the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Radha Nam or Rama Nam, fame. How glorious our Lord is. We hear and chant about that. Let's say I just for the holy name, how would I do that? Is that ki I will hear what other devotees are chanting like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And also I will chant it back also. Like Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Same for fame. We can just say that Lord Ramchandra had the greatest fame that he defeated Ravana, who had 10 heads, who was the brilliant minded Rakshasa or Brahmana, whatever. And pastimes of the Lord, which is Ramchandra, how did he go to Vasishtha Muni for getting the knowledge about Shastra and other things. And same for Krishna, how he used to steal. The first thing that comes to my mind is stealing. That's all Krishna does. He steals my heart, he steals everyone's heart. He just just magnanimous Lord. He just comes, he just lets us chant the glories of him and pastimes of the Lord, of course, where so we just think or listen about the pastimes of the Lord first, like basically hearing and then chant. So you can just say that ki I have heard and I'm chanting back to you. So it's just not like ki I have in my like have had it from the start in myself, but I heard it and like chanting it back. And yeah, so this is the recommended process for self-realization in this Kali Yuga, Prabhupada and the other sages also. So just go to another text. Next one. Tamna sandarshito dhatra dustaram nistitirshtam. Sorry. Tamna sandarshito dhatra dustataramam dustaram nishtitirshtam tirshatam kalim sattvaharam pamsam karnadhara imanar ivarnamam tam, your God, your goodness, naha, unto us, sandarshita, meeting, dhatra, by providence, dustaram, insurmountable, nishtir ashtamam, nishtiti arshatam, for those desiring to cross over, kalim, the age of Kali, sattvaharam, that which deteriorates the good qualities, pumsam, of a man, karnadhara, captain, Eva, as Aranamam, the ocean. Translation. We think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, so just so that we may accept you as a captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of the human being. Here, the glories of Guru has been praised. As you can see, we think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we may accept you as a captain of the ship. For those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, it means without Guru you cannot cross the Kali Yuga, difficult ocean. People say that कि भव सागर से पार कैसे लगाएगा कोई हमें, तो गुरु हैं जो हमें भव सागर से पार लगाएंगे. Here Guru is Sūta Goswami, and the conditioned soul is us. Souls like me are the conditions also. The Sūta Goswami will cross us, will help us cross the difficult ocean of Kali Yuga, because he has already crossed it by knowing about all the things about the Bhagavatam and because of his Guru. But The age of Kali Yuga is very dangerous for the human being. Human life is simply meant for self-realization, but due to this dangerous age, men have completely forgotten the aim of life. Sorry. In this age, the lifespan will gradually decrease. People will gradually lose their memory, finer sentiments, strength, and better qualities. A list of the anomalies for this age is given in the 12th canto of this work. And so, this age is very difficult for those who want to utilize this life for self realization. The people are so busy with sense gratification that they completely forget about self realization. Out of madness, they frankly say that there is no need for self-realization because they do not realize that this brief life is but a moment on our great journey towards self-realization. The whole system of education is geared to sense gratification, and if a learned man thinks it's over, he sees that the children of this age are being intentionally sent to the slaughterhouses of so-called education. Learned men therefore must be cautious of this age, and if they at all want to cross over the dangerous ocean of Kali, they must follow the footsteps of the sages of the Naimisaranya and accept Srila Sūta Goswami as bona fide representative as the captain of the ship. The ship is the message of the Lord Krishna and in the shape of Bhagavad Gita Srimad Bhagavatam. Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Ho, kya baat hai. I'm just so overwhelmed by this line that the ship is the message of the Lord of Krishna in the shape of Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, and the captain of the ship is the Guru or the representative of the captain of the ship is the captain of the ship, which is basically a Guru Dev. So Srila Sūta Goswami is the Guru Deva for us, explaining Srimad Bhagavatam through sages of Naimisaranya, and as a Guru will explain what Sūta Goswami explained and will let us cross this ocean of material ocean of Kali Yuga, and that ship would be the message of Krishna and in the shape of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Oh my God, this line is so great. I'll just go to next text. Bruhi Yogeshware Krishne Brahmane Dharmavarmani Swam Kashta Madhunopate Nopete Dharmahakam Sharanam Gataha. Bruhi, please tell, Yogeshware, the Lord of all mystic powers, Krishna, Lord Krishna, Brahmane, the absolute truth, Dharma, the legend, Varmani, protector, Swam, own, custom, abode, Adhuna, nowadays, Opete, having gone away. Nopete. Dharmaha, religion, Kama, unto whom, Sharanam, shelter, Sharanam, Gataha, gone. Translation. Since Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us whom the religious principles have now gone for shelter. Essentially, religion is the prescribed codes enunciated by the Personality of Godhead himself. Whenever there is gross misuse or neglect of the principles of the religion, the Supreme Lord appears himself to restore religious principles. This is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Here the sages of Naimisaranya are inquiring about these principles. The reply to this question is given later. The Srimad Bhagavatam is a transcendental sound representation of the Personality of Godhead, and thus it is the full representation of the transcendental knowledge and religious principles. Thus, in the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the first chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam entitled Questions by the Sages. So the first chapter was totally about why we need Srimad Bhagavatam. This is exactly same as Bhagavad Gita, which I think so, which was that in second adhyay, Arjun was very confused about what to do, what to not. He was just so, you know, like confused that why do I even require a land in which I have to kill my own brothers to get it? He was not seeing the fact that it is the will of Krishna and it is the thing that is to be done for the dharma. But he knew, he knew all that. He knew it beforehand only. Krishna was just let him ask the questions because of us, for us basically, because we are not the souls who understand these things, which is to worship Krishna, think about Krishna, and chant about Krishna, hear about Krishna. All these things Arjuna has, basically helped us to know through his all the questions that he has asked in the Bhagavad Gita itself. And that is the exact same thing happened in Bhagavatam also. That first, it is shown that basically scene setup that how we explain or how will we continue on this path of realizing that Srimad Bhagavatam is all we need for the whole life. Is that it is explained that Sūta Goswami had been present in the 7-day lecture or 7-day recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam continuously by Sukadeva Goswami on the bank of Ganga, which was a like reply from Sukadeva Goswami to the question that has been raised from Parikshit Maharaj, that what is the truth basically. It was the start of Kali Yuga, so Sūta Goswami was present there, and after completing that he came to Naimisaranya, and then the sages were so eager to listen about Bhagavatam. Then sages asked many questions and glorified Krishna, devotees, Gurudev, and Bhagavatam. And it is also like what is the role of Guru, what is the role of Krishna, what is the role of scriptures, and what we have to do in the age of Kali Yuga. That is the main objective of like sages of Naimisaranya, to ask to Sūta Goswami that they also know that the main objective of Kali Yuga is that to chant and hear about Krishna, his fame and name and pastimes of Krishna, our Lord. But still they ask due to us, because we are not even considering Krishna and remembering him throughout the day. Look at me. I think I just think about it every day that today I will read Bhagavatam, today I will read Bhagavatam, today I will read Bhagavatam. But see, I'm not a good one. I'm not a good devotee. I'm not a good person that can give a single 10 minutes or 15 minutes time to Krishna. And this happens because you are so absorbed in all the material activities that you have in your life that you forget to think about Krishna, chant about Krishna, hear about Krishna, read Krishna throughout the scriptures that are given. So this is the first canto, first chapter, questions by sages. We are finishing now. I think we'll again read all the translations by just going through it one by one. We'll read 20 to 23 shlokas, just the translations. So text 1. O my Lord Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primordial cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestation, and he is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted of the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages like sages and demigods are placed into illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusory representations of water seen in the fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. Therefore, meditate upon him. But Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representation of the material world, I meditate upon him. For he is the absolute truth. Sorry for the text 2. Completely rejecting all religious activities which are materially motivated, the Bhagavad Puran propounds the highest truth which is understandable by those devotees who are fully pure in heart. The highest truth is reality distinguished from illusion for the welfare of all. Such truth uproots the threefold miseries. This beautiful Bhagavatam, compiled by the great sage Vyasadeva in his maturity, is sufficient in itself for God realization. What is the need of any other scripture? As soon as one attentively and submissively hears the message of Bhagavatam, by his culture of knowledge, the Supreme Lord is established within his heart. Text 3. O expert and thoughtful men, relish Srimad Bhagavatam and the mature fruit of the desired tree of the Vedic literatures. It emanated from the lips of Srila Sukadeva Goswami. Therefore, this fruit has become even more tasteful, although its nectarian juice was already relishable for all, including liberated souls. Text 4. Once in a holy place in the forest of Naimisarana, great sages headed by the sage Saunaka assembled to perform a great 1,000 years sacrifice for the satisfaction of the Lord and his devotees. Text 5. One day, after finishing their morning duties by burning a sacrificial fire and offering a seat of esteem to Srila Sūta Goswami, the great sages made inquiries with great respect about the following matters. The sages said, Respected Sūta Goswami, you are completely free from all vice. You are well versed in all the scriptures famous for religious life, and in the Puranas and in the histories as well. For you have gone through them under proper guidance and have also explained them. Being the eldest learned Vedantist, O Sūta Goswami, you are acquainted with the knowledge of Vyasadeva, who is the incarnation of the Godhead, and you also know other sages who are fully versed in all kinds of physical and metaphysical knowledge. Text 8. And because you are submissive, your spiritual masters have endowed you with all the favors bestowed upon a gentle disciple. Therefore, you can tell us all that you have scientifically learned from them. Text 9. Please, therefore, being blessed with many years, explain to us in an easily understandable way what you have ascertained to be the absolute and ultimate goal for the people in general. Text 10. O learned one, in this iron of age of Kali, men almost always have but short lives. They are quarrelsome, lazy, misguided, unlucky, and above all, always disturbed. Text 11. There are many varieties of scriptures, and in all of them, there are many prescribed duties, which can be learned only after many years of study in the in their various divisions. Therefore, O sage, please select the essence of all these scriptures and explain it for the good of all living beings, that by such instruction their hearts may be fully satisfied. Text 12. All blessings upon you, O Sūta Goswami. You know for what purpose the personality of Godhead appeared in the womb of Devaki as the son of Vasudeva. O Sūta Goswami, we are eager to learn about the personality of Godhead and his incarnations. Please explain to us those teachings imparted by previous matters, acharyas, for one is uplifted both by speaking them and by hearing them. Living beings who are entangled in the complicated meshes of birth and death can be freed immediately by even unconsciously chanting the holy name of Krishna, which is feared by fear personified. Text 15. O Sūta Goswami, those great sages who have completely taken shelter of the lotus feet of the Lord can at once sanctify those who come in touch with them, whereas the waters of the Ganga can sanctify only after prolonged use. Hare Krishna. Who is there desiring deliverance from the vices of the age of the coral, who is not willing to hear the virtuous glories of the Lord? His transcendental acts are magnificent and gracious. And great learned sages like Nārada sing of them. Please therefore speak to us, who are eager to hear, about the adventures he performs in his various incarnations. Text 18. O Sūta, please narrate to us the transcendental pastimes of the Supreme Godhead's multi-incarnations. Such auspicious adventures and pastimes of the Lord and the Supreme Controller are performed by his eternal powers. We never tire of hearing the transcendental pastimes of the Personality of Godhead, who is glorified by hymns and prayers. Those who have developed a taste for transcendental relationship with him relish hearing of his pastimes at every moment. Text 20. Lord Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the personality of Godhead, along with Balarāma, prayed like a human being, and so masked he performed many superhuman acts. Knowing well that the age of Kali has already begun, we are assembled here in this holy place to hear at the great length of the transcendental message of Godhead, and in this way perform sacrifice. Text 22. We think that we have met your goodness by the will of providence, just so that we may accept you as the captain of the ship for those who desire to cross the difficult ocean of Kali, which deteriorates all the good qualities of human being. Here I will again remember that Sundar line of the Prabhupada purport, which is Srila Sūta Goswami and his disciplined representatives are the man of the ship, are the captain of the ship. Whereas the message of Krishna is the the ship basically, and the shape is the Bhagavad and Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. This is the sweetest thing that I have heard. Since Śrī Kṛṣṇa, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious principles have gone for shelter. Hare Krishna. We'll begin chapter 2 from tomorrow or the next one. Divinity and Divine Service. This consists of 34 texts and the second chapter of first canto, and we'll just learn about or read second chapter from tomorrow onwards. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Prabhupada, that due to streaming I'm able to read Srimad Bhagavatam, and due to his mercy I have also got Śrī Chaitanya Charitamrita. Jai Ho. All glories to Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. I will ending this. Hare Krishna.